Hi, it's Alfred. I want to talk about a bad Balanda grass. It's called Gamba grass. It's dangerous. It's dangerous and it's killing country. Up north at Pine Creek, it's getting worse every year, and then we need to stop it before it gets to our country. So we need to work together, the ranger and the community. This is our story about Gamba grass.
Hello everyone. Today I got a story from Mimal Rangers. Dijan blanga game grass. Im number one Balanda grass. Where im go langa we country. When on a Mimal Ranger been go la bushfire training langa bachelor last year. They been looked at game grass. Been killing that country. They country blanga Hun Narakan people. Dijan im first time blanga sambal ranger been look dijan game grass. They will stop blanga road and they will look this country been burned no far away. When Blamipara grass been burned, in burn little bit, normal like Dijan game grass, in burn at Palawat. John Watley from Bushfire been talk blanga all that lot rangers blanga game grass and having big problem. Now mostly from Pine Creek, Langadawin.
One of our nemesis, if you like, one of the worst things that we face nowadays when it comes to firefighting and fire management in the top end, particularly in the area sort of north of Pine Creek up towards the coast, is gamba grass. Gamba grass was introduced in the late 70s as stock feed. However, at that time, nobody knew what it was actually going to do. Nobody understood the grass, and since then we've found that it can end up being a change the environment to the point where it's only gamba grass. It kills trees. It's very prolific in its growth. It grows very, very well. Self-perpetuating virtually. It fires absolutely love it. It loves fires because it's a light seed. The seed's transported by the wind and the thermals. In the Kamali Shire, I'd have to say that it's anything that we try and do is all too little too late. It's taken over. It's going to be here for forever. We've actually seen in a number of areas from these very hot fires that the gamba grass produce that is actually, you'd say it ring barks the trunks of the trees and consequently kills them. And in some places we've had 90% mortality after a single fire, which is unheard of. It's just hard. You can't imagine it, and you wouldn't believe it unless you saw it. Whilst it used to take us in a couple of areas around here, annual sort of burn-off areas, it used to take us 3 or 4 vehicles and a couple of boats in an afternoon to do 15-20 kilometres of burn. The same burn now would take at least 15 vehicles and with a helicopter on standby spotting the jump overs, that sort of stuff. So the cost of what it used to be to what it is now is probably, well, you'd have to say it's 20-fold from what it was when we first started managing this country with just the native grass and that sort of stuff.
Langa bachelor airstrip developed bushfire mob. Been burning but Gamba grass langa that airstrip way. All the ranger been shocked when they looked at Gamba grass been killing all that tree langa eastern side that airstrip. Najing dena, all the tree been die. Najing dena, only that Gamba grass and all the dead tree.
Oh, them trees all dead everywhere, yeah?
So all the trees in this area, they're all dead. They were killed by one Gamba grass fire. That's so sad for this tree, like died in one big intense fire. So when Gamba grass comes in, it increases the fuel. You can see all this grass around this area. The fire comes through, they're really hot. And the flames are so high, the trees just aren't adapted to deal with big hot fires, so they die. So in one fire, you end up losing all the trees in this area.
Now we don't want this Gamba grass back at Bullman,
Again, Bullman.
because we might have problem with this.
How are you going to stop it?
Keep looking for it. If we might find it, and we'll get rid of it
Straight away.
straight
Not
away,
kill all
and
the trees.
don't give him a chance to grow. Yeah. Mình die while no air.
Yeah, no air, eh? Right, probably choking it.
Put the steps here so if anyone wants to jump up and have a look in the cockpit.
This time bushfire mob, they gotta use some airplane. Bla chaka mura bla block him that fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive it, so.
You reckon this is right?
Yeah, you also.
So look at this stuff, boys.
Yep.
A bit different to Munbet GI.
Ah, you can hear that siren too. Yeah. Dia Sungai ada awal kan? Dah coba. Acet.
When me and Lyndon went over there with the Toyota, we felt that heat from that grass. What grass that was?
Gamba grass.
Oh, Gamba grass. Yeah. Not good.
We don't want to have that.
We don't want to have them grass back at home.
after back langa we mul Ben Lewis been Talamalapat, which way Mimal Ranger been blocking that game grass from Mipala country. Might be 4 times they've been blocking. Mipala will stop before and we can stop them anytime, but Mipala gotta catch him up quick before him go more.
When I was here 10 years ago, we started to find some gamba grass in people's yards in Bullman. And since that time, the rangers have found gamba grass in those kind of places that is going to arrive. So that's around town, the buffalo yards, where heavy vehicles pull up and wash down. And thanks to that early intervention and survey, they've kept gamba grass out of Bullman and out of this side of Arnhem Land, really.
Hello, I'm Phil Hickey from the Weed Management Branch. My job at Weed Management Branch is mapping, monitoring weeds in the Northern Territory. One of the main weeds of interest for us at Weed Management Branch is gamba grass. We've been mapping gamba grass in and around the Darwin region since before 2001. What I'm going to show you today is a series of maps which show the spread of gamba grass through the Darwin region over that time. This is Darwin River Dam in the centre here. Down here is Bachelor. Up here is Darwin Harbour. This is the year 2001. As you can see at this time, in 2001, there were only a few gamba grass plants which are found mainly on the roads. The next survey that we did was in 2004. As you can see, in 2004, we're starting to get more gamba grass spreading out along the roads. On this map you can see the red dots show a lot of gamba grass, green dots only a little bit of gamba grass. By 2010 it was spreading well off the road. You can see in this map spread right out from the roads and it's starting to cover a lot of areas. But you'll also notice a lot of these points are light green, they're only small infestations at this time. By 2014 it spread right out and there's big areas of red on the map where there's lots and lots of gamba grass and not much else in the landscape. Also notice new areas spreading out to the west. In our last survey in 2016, big areas of red are emerging in several places on the map and it's starting to take over parts of the landscape and completely dominate it. As you can see from these maps, gamba grass really spreads all across the landscape. Given time, it just takes over the entire landscape. We've seen it now in 1, 2, 3 places on the map. It invades, it starts small, and it comes in and takes over the whole lot. The real secret here, you've got to stop this weed early.
Gamba grass is going to keep arriving in Bullman. It's going to keep coming to Arnhem Land from Darwin, from Adelaide River, from other places. The rangers here know what it looks like. Every year they're going to keep an eye out on the places it's going to arrive. It's going to arrive at places like the buffalo yards, in the towns. It's going to be on the roadsides between here and Catherine and gravel pits, and we're going to find it there before it gets a chance to grow up and spread.
Before that gamba been come like a bullman, from that hay where you feed him a buffalo. Balanda know him say anybody him can use that gamba grass like a feed him own animal, like him own country. But sometimes might be him do wrong thing and send him that gamba grass like another place. Him that can't stop feed him and use him like your country. You gotta find out after wet season if any gamba grass him coming. If you find him, you let him know the ranger straight away. But we feel sorry for that traditional owner from Litchfield and Bachelor, where gamba grass him kill him but blow but country. Speedy beginners him senior Kanarakan men him siran langa in place. Lock cabe langa Bachelor way. Him think about when gamba grass him come on, Langaim area.
Well, this gamba grass, it's going to be one of the biggest killers of country that I've ever come across, actually. In a way that when it does get to burn and that, it's going to kill out all the natural stuff, a lot of the young trees and the whole lot. Out this way, it was first introduced by the Yanks that had the stations further on out from here to feed their bloody cows and that. And it blew off. I watched it as the trucks were going past here, the seeds were blowing off. And I walked out the front and picked it up and had a look at it, and little did I know then what damage it was going to do to the land. And now it's all the way, from here all the way right out, all around the highway, the whole lot. It's got to that extreme now. I don't know how they're ever going to stop it. I don't think they will stop it, actually.
It's Peter Cook here, and in the last couple of weeks I've been helping to get some video shots for our little video about gamba grass. And when I was filming a fire down near Tortilla Flats a couple of days ago, I learned something about how easy it is to accidentally pick up gamba grass seed and move it around. I got out of the car to go and film the fire, and I left the door open like this. When I came back to the car, went to go back in, I looked on the floor of the car, and the fire had sent the very light gamba grass seeds right up in the air and had carried it over. When I came back, there were about 6 or 10 gamba grass seeds, little tiny light things sitting on the floor of my car. Now, I could have jumped in the car and driven back to Weemole, and then those seeds get out somehow or other. And if they did, it only takes just one seed to make that plant, start off, and then it can keep going and going from there. Whenever we visit places where there's gamba grass growing, we've got to be very careful that we don't get any seeds in our car, on our vehicle, in a quad bike. Never drive through this stuff. You'll be picking up seeds and bringing it back to where you live, and we just can't afford to have this grass come into the beautiful country out there along the Central Arnhem Land Road.
Yeah, well, my country, my father's country is just full of it all the way. Even these overnighters, pig hunters and all that, they follow the power line, and it's all the way down the power line everywhere. It's all over the place. And poisoning, no amount of poisoning or anything's going to stop it. So, I don't know, it's heated for good, I think. But once it gets a hole, that's it, and it dominates the whole bush. And when it does burn, it's just so fierce, the fire, that kills out all the natural stuff and that. It's going to be the biggest problem in the Northern Territory for the land. Don't let anyone talk you into saying it's going to be good for cattle or horses or anything like that. Once you get it on your land, you're never going to get rid of it.
It's not just rangers who can keep an eye out for new weeds or like gamba grass. It's the rest of the community. The more eyes, the better. So get to know what gamba grass looks like, and keep an eye out for it, and let the rangers know as soon as you see it. Or pull it out yourself. Don't be shy. Anyone can pull out a gamba grass.
Gamba grass, it's only a grass, but it kills country. Trees, mammals, everything that lives in the landscape, all impacted by gamba grass fires. You don't want it on your country.
Yeah, what I've seen here today with the demonstration, I've seen that it's a really big, intense fire, and that it kills all the animals and mice and lizards. So if this gets back to our country, it'll kill all the animals, kangaroo, and we'll have nothing on the land. So everything will be all dead, and all the traditional owner back home will feel bad about all this grass.